My name is Nelson Blair, and this is my digital story about my reading history. When I was in preschool, my mom had me practice reading just about every day. I don't think that Dick and Jane books were that popular by the time I was little, but they were in our house, and at that time that's what she had me read. These books followed the C-spot run type, which apparently worked well for me, because quickly I developed a passion for reading. While in kindergarten, my favorite book that I can remember was Chicka Chicka Boom Boom. I don't remember much about the book except for that there are a bunch of letters in the trees, but I do think it helped me with my reading beyond what the Dick and Jane books did. Once I was old enough to start actually reading books, I began reading the Boxcar Children's series, and then graduated to the Hardy Boys series. I developed a real passion for reading while I was younger because my library had a summer reading program that involved tickets to the Carolina Mudcats games, and so I read all that I could so that I could go to the games with my family. Because of that, my love for sports quickly grew, and I started reading Sports Illustrated for Kids, which would turn out to be my first experience with magazines. By the 3rd or 4th grade, I was reading above grade level and quickly running out of books to read, until I was introduced to the Red Ball series, which I still read to this day. Then came middle school. I honestly can't remember what all I read in middle school. The fact that nothing stands out to me says I didn't really read anything good, and thus has been eliminated from my memory. Looking back, I really wish that I'd had some good books to read in middle school, because I really think it hurt me later on in life, because as you'll see later, my passion for reading has left. When I got to high school, though, I was submerged in the Harry Potter craze along with half the world, and thoroughly enjoyed reading those books. I also enjoyed reading Lord of the Flies in 10th grade, Catcher in the Rye in 11th grade, and in my senior year it was 1984. Luckily, I was able to find those books in my English classes. Without them, I may not be reading at all anymore. I was never really able to regain my love for reading because most of my time was spent with Boy Scouts or the high school swim team, and by the time I got to college, I was done with reading. The thing I read the most was Sports Illustrated because honestly, all I really cared about was sports, and that was the only thing that interested me in my reading. If I wasn't reading that, I was reading either The Technician or Spark Notes for my lit classes. The fact that I, as a language arts major, couldn't even read my books in my lit classes because I didn't care shows me that there's something that went wrong along the way. And then came the textbooks. Nowadays, all I read for my class are textbooks, and while I do in fact read them because the information in them is important, I really wish I had some good books to read because these textbooks, all they do is put me to sleep. The end.